So let's take let's diverge a little bit from our player class here for a second and just look at some other programming concepts. What I'm going to do here is go to File, go to New Project again, and I'm just going to create a console application so we can just focus on a Windows CE console app. So we can just focus on the code for a second, and I'm going to hit Next. And I'm just going to name this, um, let's say, Document. So say we're creating a class or project that is, well, let's do save system. It's sort of a save system of our player information. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hit create. And it's going to give us all this good stuff. And I'm going to say, let's save this out, our old stuff. Now, what you're seeing here is the basic structure of a console application. So if you used Unity before, you can almost think of static void main as a void start, as our start method. So let's go ahead and see how this works. So I'm going to go ahead and type in console dot right line, and in here I can just type hello from main, and if I run this now, what you'll notice is it's going to flash my console for a second, and then it's going to disappear. So it's really quickly. So we want to make sure that we can hold, so have the user press enter twice or spacebar in order to be able to see our message. So we're just going to use this trick where you use console.readLine, and we're not actually going to read any code in, just a couple spacebar hits. And sometimes you could read into a variable. Well, you can as a trick, but for now, we're going to implement this so that it actually holds our console app as it prints. I'm going to save that, and I'm going to hit F5. Now you can see that it froze our app, and we get our output
Ahead and
printed to the screen. So let's go ahead and hit spacebar a few times, and then you could hit enter twice to get rid of this. Alright, so let's say we're creating a save file. One thing we can do is create a class above this. And I'm going to sort of diverge into showing you how to use interfaces and generics from this. So let's go ahead and create another class, and I'm going to call this one save system, and then open close curly braces. This is an empty class here. And what I want to do is within this class, I want to save the name of my file. So I'm going to make a private string. I'm going to make it an underscore in front because it's private. And I'm going to name this save game name. I'll put a semicolon there. And I'm going to create a constructor method, right? Do you remember how we did CTOR, tab twice, and that created a constructor of the save name. And I'm just going to say into this constructor, I'm going to pass in a string, and I'm going to just say s save game name. So something like this. And I'm going to grab this here, and I'm going to make that equal to our save game name. Let's hit semicolon here. So what's going to happen is when this constructor runs, it's going to grab whatever this value that's being passed in, and it's going to apply this name to it. So let's go ahead and grab this line and copy and paste it down here. And what we're going to do in here is we're going to say you created a saved game with the following name. Now the way to really push out this value into this text string, you could do a plus s game name, but there's actually a better way of doing this. And this is where we can actually format this string a little better and be able to kind of control the placing within this. So what I'm going to do is, this is the 0 element within this line of information that's being output. So what I can do is do open, or actually two single quotes, and then open close curly brace here, and I'm going to hit 0. So now I know that it's going to be placed right here. It's going to take into account that, and it's going to, so it's going to really take into account that formatting. You want to get rid of this plus though, and just do a comma there. And so now this save game name is going to be placed where this 0 is. I'm going to save that. Let's scroll down here to our program, and let's go ahead and create a new object that's of this type class, right? And that's going to allow us to be able to use this constructor. So once this object is created, it actually just calls this constructor right away. We don't have to do anything fancy, right? So, and we can also pass into this constructor our name. All right, so what does that mean? Well, let's take a look. So remember, our class name is Save System. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste this here, and I'm going to name this Save System S System. And the first element, right? So I'm going to go Save System equals a new member of that Save System, right? It's a new member. And what I'm going to pass in here is the name of my save game. So maybe I'll make it like 01 level, you know, whatever, killed orcs or something, killed orcs. All right. So as this runs, you'll see it's going to immediately call this here, and then it's going to print this out, and then we're going to get our read line. So let's save this. I'm going to hit F5 and see how this runs. So you can see here, it says you created a save game with the following name, 01 level killed orcs. You can see it's inside those single quotes. Then it's up here. Then it immediately jumps down back into this next line of code to console.writeline hello from main, which you can see is here. Now when I press enter twice, it kicks me out of there.